Well, greetings everyone. Welcome back to the balance of the world. The balance of the world is a very special event. As always, every day we come here, the balance of the world. And we can come together with the knowledge that we possess. From the top all the way to the bottom, what comes down must stay down, and what comes up may come down. Welcome, everyone, to the experience of the balance. We're going to think about today. Every time in the balance, we think. Today is thinking about staying true to the truth and to our values and to everything that we have in our hearts. We have to keep true to ourselves. Isn't that right? I believe in the thought that everyone is equal, the eminence of every individual, the mighty works of the balance, the truth that'll define who a person is, the righteousness of family, wisdom, influences, values, and guidance. But the belief that you don't have to be yourself for success is misleading. I believe in the power of love that will hold everyone together. I believe in the works of others that inspire us. I believe in hope because it rescues us in moments of despair, ruination, separation. The mighty works of God and mighty works of balance, and the truth will find the person really. Here is the balance. We always look at the balance and realize this is our, this is what we need to be. This is where we go. We need to find balance in ourselves so that we can truly find living. So stay true to yourself and your balance. Because once you get yourself together, everything falls into place. Here's the almighty paragraph. In the almighty paragraph. There's what they say is money talks. Money talks. But does your dignity have a say when it comes to money talking? Or you want to be rich? There's a person who wants to continue to live, but money talks. And he wants to live, but he needs money to live. But the thing is, he wants all the money in the world, which is more than enough, too much for living. That he's willing to sell himself away for all this money. He's willing to be taking from others and giving himself all this money, call himself famous. But there's no true cost. There's no price when it comes to dignity. And that's a misconception that many people hold because, money talks. But behind this voice is not always good forces, but they're bad forces. So that's why you need the balance. So you can understand when you have not too much of one or the other. This is the almighty paragraph. Thank you. You're welcome. Now, guys, Hello. I'd like to tell you a little story called Star Wars. A little story about Star Wars. I don't know who watched Star Wars or not. I can tell you this is a little guy from Star Wars. Yeah, we're still not in the balance room, but that's okay. We're in the other room. We're in the office room. So, in the balance, in the Star Wars story that I'm trying to say, it's not a part of the movies, but it has to do with the movies. Where the creator of the movies and the Star Wars, he got an offer by a company called Disney. So they offered a fortune to buy Star Wars, and the creator gave it away because that's a lot of money, and I'm not doing anything with it, so we'll give it away. Well, was that the right thing to do? See for yourself. Ever since Disney took on, all the Star Warses fell downhill. All the Star Warses sucked. Can I say that? I'm saying this not for me because I don't watch Star Wars. I like to watch documentaries. But all the fans, I'm saying it on behalf of many fans, say that Disney killed Star Wars. For what cost? Money. Now, I'm not trying to be here and say money is evil, because, we need money to live and put gas. I know it's expensive, but you have to. But comes with a bigger idea, which comes to play when it comes to money, but we could be tempted by it. Don't be tempted. Temptation is a weakness. Falling into it is a weakness in yourself, which denies you of your dignity. Don't fall into it, people. So look, there's another Star Wars over there. This isn't my office, people. I'm borrowing it for this balance. So there's a crowd over here. Money, when you sell yourself out to money, you sell yourself and you don't know what you're selling it to. There's no better originality other than yourself. You need to be yourself. Find yourself and continue to be buyers, be who you are. And no dollars could define you. Only you define you. There's billions of people in the world. There's only one of you and one of them. There's billions of dollars in this world, but only one of you. So look, don't be tempted by the price. Stay true to yourself. Just don't be afraid to say no and pass on what may seem like the best things. Just don't sell yourself out. There's going to be so many chances where you could say no to selling yourself out. My brother Fate, back then he would always talk about, he would start talking against sex because he says society is so lustful. So he would always say sex is not good. Pretty much, why are we falling into the product? Well, the key is temptation. The key is poking at your desires. Why do people want to watch inappropriate content? Because it pokes at their desires of the unknown. Their desires of what they would like to have, but they can't have. So, okay, my tie is falling. My tie decided to drop. Drop harder than Portadict dignity. Anyways, what was this? So how do this make their product? By poking on all of our dignities. Do not allow these big things to poke at your dignity. Do not allow them, because you are worth more, and these things will only degrade you. There are so many studies onto why porn, how harmful it is. It uh, affects you bad and affects your relationships with others bad. So, people, I advise you just to be smart. And whenever you feel an urge to do something, whenever you feel tempted, here's what you have to find a way to switch it around, or just occupy yourself with something else. If you feel tempted, like, oh, I want to, temptation is not just a sex, it's anything. It could be like wanting to push somebody, or wanting to go somewhere, or do anything. If you feel a tempt and you know it's not good, here's what you do. You have to get up, walk away. Let's go. Let's go walk. Start walking. Or you start, doing a workout. You just do something. Help yourself. Because there are bad things out there trying to take from you. They're trying to take from you from your desires, people. Why? Because it sells. It sells. It's all the money is there. And once you buy in, you can't cash out. Once you sell yourself in, there's no going back. Once you give in, once you take the shot, of life, and I'm not trying to talk like, when I say shot, I don't mean it like those conspiracy, people, because I don't like those. I mean it like once it goes in something, you can't take it out. And I'm not talking about those shots. I'm talking about anything. I'm talking about all of us. Everything we have, everything we do. Because we need to start standing up, and we need to start using our minds. We need to start using our minds. We need to start. There's a head. We have a brain for a reason. You want to know who falls into desires and temptations? The animals. The little animals. They want to kill because they have to get their food. They want to do this or that. They want to mate. They have to mate. They have mating season for a reason. They all rush to do that. We people are different from animals because we do have a brain like them. They have a little brain. We do too. But we have what is called a conscience. A conscience which helps us to control and divert the wheel in what we are saying, what we are doing. A conscience. But are we using it? Let me tell you about a conscience. What about when someone becomes unconscious? I'm unconscious. He's unconscious. Well, that means he's out. And are you there? Hello? But they're out. A conscience. What is there to come with a conscience? Well, all of our ideas can be controlled with the conscience, because it sort of is like it takes hold of the wheel for you, and it keeps your mind in check. It's like someone who proofreads a writing that you did. So always follow your conscience. But here's what you have to do with it. Help your conscience. Let it help yourself by, helping when it comes to falling away from your desires. When it comes to falling for your desires, use a conscience to push you away from those feelings. You don't want to be constantly the product of desire and hurting yourself, right? It wouldn't be good. It would you would lose your value. I don't want you all to lose your values. That wouldn't be good for any of us. So please watch yourself. Staying true to yourself involves seeing the truth with your conscience. When it comes to talking about like our thinking, people say, "Oh, I think with my heart, I think with my mind, my brain, my conscience." What are all these different things? There's so many distinctions to our thoughts. How about we take them, sort of find out what they are? When someone says, "I'm thinking from the heart," they usually mean, "I'm thinking with love." When someone says, "I'm thinking with conscience," they're sort of putting it into how they percept reality, how they perceive reality. I think with my conscience. Okay, so I think like this and like that. I think with my heart, so I think with love. Would you like to see what's real or what you feel is real? Would you like to think with too much of one thing or another? There's to be a balance. You need to find what feels true to yourself, but also what is true. So you need to think a little bit from your heart, a little bit from your conscience, which it's all in your mind. Just don't have too much of one. They say that thinking from the conscience is bad, and then they say thinking from the heart is bad. You need to have a balance, because they say it's bad because there's too much of one. Why is thinking from a conscience bad? Well, here's why thinking from the heart is bad, because you can be falling into, "Oh, it looks so good," and then it's a trap. With the conscience, you'll say, "That's a trap, that's a trap, that's a trap, that's a trap." Everything is a trap, and you don't want it. If you're constantly pushing yourself away from things because you are afraid or paranoid, then you're never going to get anywhere. You're going nowhere. If you have to be willing. You have to be willing to go out there. You can't always stay stationary like a pole. A pole just stuck in the ground. That cars will pass by a pole and just see it there. It doesn't have much purpose. It's just there, and cars are constantly going. Or like in those big grocery stores, those balls, the big balls that are in front of the store. They're just there. People like to sit on them, touch them, but they're just there. Don't be like those that just people will walk by and they don't move. How about instead you do move and you do go out to go to do places, to do things in your life with thinking, every power, the mind and knowledge is your greatest power. You must always know that. There are many ways to enhance those powers, but those are your real powers. Never be afraid to find those powers. Your mind, because you might lose your voice, you might lose your vision, you might lose your hearing, but you know what you don't lose? Your mind. In our minds, we have everything where we feel this or that. And I'll tell you about this, I like to think about these videos I saw of like nursing homes where they say, "Oh, here's a guy who has a dementia or the Alzheimer's." So, they can't remember well. But then they give him a piano and he starts playing his heart out. Like if, he knows it like a professional. They say music lives with you because it's all there in the mind. You never lose it because it brings you feelings and memories. Or here's another one I heard, also in a nursing home. And it was the lady who passed away, and then they found a note left by her saying, "We're all still young and children on the inside." So you see, the mind is a great power no matter how bad your body is or anything is. No matter how you don't like, you're distasteful of things or you're just unable to do something, your mind is there. Leave time capsules. Time capsules, people from the future love to learn about from the past. So, how about you bury something today that's valuable to you? So, in the future, maybe someone will find it. Or you can give to people things that are valuable to you. Give them little sentimental things. To share your value with others. To share your love and your memories with others always. Telling stories is the best way, I feel, to do those things. Because telling stories sort of transfers the mind power and the memories to others. That's how they live on. Finding truth with ourselves. What is our truth? Is our values. What type of values do we hold? Whatever values you hold, you have to live by them. As you know, in the place of balance, we usually talk about that. But how often do you stay true to your values? Stay true to your values, people. In here, in here. Live by them. Live by your values. You know, you want to greet everyone every day with the smile that you come across. Well, there's your thing, and you live by it. Create every day. Create a challenge for yourself every day. How about that? So, okay, today I will do this amount of push-ups, or today I will walk a few miles, or make a challenge. It doesn't have to be exercise. It could be anything that's sort of out of the ordinary. Just to help yourself constantly be out there. Do not be like those poles that don't do anything. Go out there, people. Go ahead and move, And then we're not trying to push you around and say, move, move, move. But this is how you can sort of control your environment around you and yourself. Because if you're constantly stuck in the same place, then you fall into desires and temptation. You will fall into all these traps in your mind, your own prison, your own man-made prisons. You will fall into, why? Because you're stuck in the same place. When you're stuck in the same place, you become imprisoned by it. You will become trapped by it. You will feel there's nothing else for you to do because you're stuck in the same place doing the same things, which is maybe nothing or maybe something. We as people, we're not made to just be doing the same thing all the time. We're made to do more. That's why we have hands, little fingers, toes, feet, legs. We have everything to help us to move around and go. Not just to be stationary, but to go. So let yourself live. Let yourself move with what you were given. Because if not, you stay stuck in your own prison. And then the temptation and the desires will take over. Good luck dealing with that. Addictions will happen because you're stuck in the same style. People who break their addictions, you know what they do? They're finding something different to do because they're finding new things to live for. When they were in their addictions, that's because they were stuck living the same lifestyles, which they're not always, they're stuck in the same thing, their own prison. All of our prisons are in our minds. But when we decide to open our minds, you free yourself. How do you open your mind? By going out and doing different things. It doesn't have to be necessarily new things, but just change your routine. Because nowadays, so many of us are forced pretty much to just stay home and do nothing, which is unfortunate. But we can walk around. We can find ways to get moving. And I recommend all of you and all of us to start doing that. Just to help yourself, just to get out there. Stay true to yourself. To summarize, to stay true to yourself, Because when you stay true to yourself, everything will be okay. Because you won't. Because there's only one you in this world. No, you keep a dignity, and no amount of money should be able to buy you or tame you. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about how much that will hurt you. Let them live their lives. They worked really hard to get to where they are. Oh, yeah. Everybody, the people you're jealous of, or people in success stories around you, think about all the obstacles they had in order to get to where they are. So you yourself are in the making. Your success story is in the making, is in the writing. Everything will come to be. Everything is being set. The stage is being set for all of you. Every person. So keep writing that story. The story will not be written when you're just in bed all the time or just in the same cycle all the time. You have to break the cycle. Break the cycles of your own mind prisons. And then your story will be written. And then when something great happens because of you, your story will be told. So here's the moment of sorrow. Think to yourself anything that causes pain, sorrow, regret, or anything. Go for it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now it's time to time to prepare chips and water just to feed ourselves. We're hungry. So I'll give you all the snack of chips and water. So as you know, this may be your first and last meal that you shall devour. For some it burns, and for others open the emptiness. But together chips and water will make us come together. We're all people under the sky, and we all deserve the best. What someone gets, someone else will get. Mm. The balance has come together. All of you have come together. Thank you all for coming today. Eat chips and drink water. As we acquire our new lives, we learn to accept our differences and cherish every moment of them. We will come together. Go help others to come together. Live a new world and live your best life. The balance has come together. So now all of us need to come together with ourselves. Find balance in your life, and you may go home. Thank you. Have a good night. Drive safe. And don't spend your money too much because everything's going up. Just be careful out there.